All right, everybody, welcome to With All Due Respect. It's your boy Nate. We're so glad that you guys are tuning in with us today. We haven't been able to do one of these in just a while, but man, we've had so much really great action. We knew that it was time to do an all with all due respect. And with me, as always, we got our buddy Ebarb with us. Ebarb, how you doing on this Saturday afternoon?
Oh man, I'm loving it. It's great weather out here we're having, and I had a day off, so I enjoyed it all day.
That's the best kind of day off, even though you're kind of lying a little bit because you do have to go to work for a little bit here pretty soon.
Yeah, just a little bit.
That part sucks, but you know what? It is beautiful weather. It started to get a little chilly, which is good. It was like 80 degrees the most of this week, which kind of sucked. And so let me just kind of start everything off by wishing everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. You guys are enjoying some time off with the holidays. And man, we got a lot to talk about, so let's just jump right into it. We have been building up for the past four shows towards our first pay-per-view of 2K18, and that was called Act 1. And at Act 1, man, we had some really great shows, and I just want to kind of commend everybody um, for just a great job. Man, you guys worked really hard. You put in some work. There was lots of role plays to pick from. I think the show ended up being like almost an hour and a half, which is pretty good for us with the small roster and yet still being a pay-per-view. So it felt really special. I think that I'm going to edit those role plays just a couple of seconds longer. But overall, it was a really, really great job. You guys should all be super proud of it. We hosted our first viewing party the other night, and me and Ebarb were in there, and Tavon joined us for a little bit. Mo from the Madden League joined us for a little bit. So, man, it was fun to have people in there watching the show together and talking about the show. We're going to try to keep those going. It may not work every time, but it was just fun to do that. Did you enjoy the viewing party? I just thought it was kind of cool to be together and watch that thing together.
Yeah, I did think it was fun. You get to watch at the same time and interact with each other as you're watching it. You're not just kind of sitting there watching YouTube by yourself. You have somebody to talk to and laugh and cut up with, and you kind of nitpick as you watch yourself play and catch yourself, and get advice from your current superstars.
Yeah, I thought it was a blast, and I left my thoughts. I know a lot of people haven't had a chance to do that, but if you get time, leave your thoughts on that thread about the show. Just tell us what you thought, what you like, what you not like. I kind of watched and typed as I watched, and then Ebarb joined me, and I stopped typing as I watched as much, and we just kind of sat there and talked about it. But it was a whole lot of fun. Um, I got to give it to our boy CJ. CJ introduced his new character for the very first time and it was cool. Yeah, I thought he held his own. Now, Tex was playing with him just a little bit, but still, CJ was really good on his reverses. He seems to have the timing right. Needs to attack a little bit more, but look, you were in that match. Tex is one of your characters. What'd you think about CJ? I thought he did pretty well for his first match.
Yeah, I mean, he did really good. He's kind of coming into this character. He likes it more than he likes his secondary character, I think. Um, like you said, he does need
Which
to
is
kind
key.
of yeah, which is I thought it was Koa, Koa, isn't
Yeah.
that Koa?
No, no,
Yeah,
no, you're right, but I think it's key that you enjoy the character that you have. So,
yeah,
the story behind Ko was that it was a tag team with Hude. Hude left. He still kept the character, which is a cool character. It's super neat. But he
yeah.
doesn't really enjoy it and he doesn't know where to go with it. You have to like the guy that you use or just it's no fun.
Yeah, definitely. This whole thing, it all depends on the creator, So if you just throw something together in 5 seconds and you don't actually like it, then you're going to get tired of playing with them. So when you make your guy, you've got to make them how you want to make them with the move sets that you like, and you just got to get really in depth with it whenever you do it. But I mean, man, he's going to be really good at this game whenever it comes to his reversal watching and how he attacks and everything. If he can just start attacking a little bit more and a little bit faster, he's going to have a really great guy to one day get a title with.
Yeah, I thought Tex is one of my favorite new characters. It's one of your secondary guys. I love Tex. I like the music. I like the look. He's another like really big guy like Captain Alexander is, and I'm. It's gonna be fun to see what you do at Tex and kind of how you tell his story. I think you're kind of feeling your way into it, but that's what you do with a secondary character, and you're using him to help get other characters over and just kind of build some confidence in gameplay. I really like Tex. I think Tex is going to be just a fun character to have around. Another guy that was good just to have back was Jack Thunder. Jack is, I'm a fan of Dawson. Dawson is part of my OMFL leadership team. He actually does helps me do one of the other podcasts that we do here, and um, I like how he writes for Jack Thunder. I like Jack Thunder's look. We got to help him with his resolution and kind of get that just the quality to look better, but he comes away as your hardcore champion for the very first time. He lost to Hude last 2K game, and he kind of worked his way back, and we had this open belt. He went against Koya or KO or whatever you want to call the guy, and actually won it. So he's your hardcore champion for the GFW.
Yeah, and man, he's just his look, man. I love his look. I'm not gonna lie at all. Um, he's up there, I believe, with Cactus on look. You know, Cactus, I think he has one of the best looks out of everybody, but Jack's right there with him, and the way he writes for him, you're right, man. I think he's one of the best writers we have. Um, that segment he did where he was coming off of vacation, I think it was like 2 cards ago. That was
Yeah, it's
awesome,
good.
man. That was
Yeah, it
great.
was awesome.
Yeah, he destroys when it comes to that. But yeah, man, he's the new champ. You know, the new hardcore champ, and I hope he holds it for a while.
Yeah, I think it'll be fun just to kind of see what he does with Jack Thunder, especially with the news that we'll kind of talk about in a little bit. I think also that his segment that he wrote about showing up a little late, like that was just perfect. Like that, if you're wondering, like I know Tavon has kind of wondered, how do I write? I don't know what to write. I feel stuck. Go read what Jack Thunder does. Like he's just throwing himself in there. I've had to hold his hand very little. He's just trying things and it works. Like go back and read that vacation one when he didn't have the game yet and he was writing where his character was. Go back and read the pay-per-view where he's just giving me content and that's the key. Like just give me content. Go back and read Aiden Steele and Dustin White before the day even starts, right? Like that's how you tell a story where you start to show who your guy is and what he's about that isn't always around just what happens in the ring or isn't always an interview or isn't always you starting a fight backstage, right? It could just be like I've wrote role plays before where Cactus was catching a plane back home and got into it with the lady, and it just have fun and tell stories with your character so we can get to know them better. But I thought the pay per view was really great. My favorite match, of course, I was part of it was clearly the triple threat between Captain Alexander and Dustin White and Aiden Steele. Um, Again, you guys start to tell that story of you two forming a fraction. Uh, I thought that the cage looked awesome. Like it was the look that we were going for. The entrances were great. I even threw in a little after story to tell where you guys were going to continue that beating, and Cactus comes in and saves his buddy, and it was a fun match. Those are the type of matches I just think are a blast, right? We got on mic and we're talking, and I knew you guys were going to tag double team me, but yet there was still that divide of like you both wanted to win it, but you both were trying to make sure I didn't win it, and so it was fun because there was a couple times where I felt like I almost pulled it off with Captain. I almost had you both, and man, that's just fun. And I think back to season one when it was called the GWW or WWG. Like I remember like that very first ladder match that we had that you and I were not a part of, but we all got online and watched, and we were like I'm walking around my house with the computer, I'm yelling, we're yelling and screaming, and like that's what's fun about it. And yeah, I think we found our niche, right? We found what makes us different than other leagues out there is we're a full YouTube show, so you literally can turn it on and watch the whole thing. You don't have to go to a special thread or a special website and watch some and read some. Like it's all there for you. Just press play. I've set it up with music and backgrounds. I love that we cut out the characters, and so like when you're reading about these characters, you can actually see what they look like. It just adds more buy-in, and then you mix that in with the match videos and the role plays that we do. It's been fun. Very successful pay per view for us. We're small. A lot of our guys outside of you and Dustin White, everybody else is brand new and they've never really role played and they never really played this game. They're just learning as they go. You know what? People are taking notice. I must have had, geez, over the past 7 days, 20, 22 applications come in, either through email or through PlayStation messaging. Guys are taking notice and they're watching and they want to join, and so it's been a whole lot of fun. What do you think about the pay per view just overall?
Oh, overall, I thought it was great. Everybody's match did good. Um, we all had fun with it. Everybody got their matches in on time. Uh, except
Which
you
was
know,
key.
which was except me.
One little
I
hiccup,
kind of
one little
messed up.
hiccup, but
One little
overall it
hiccup
was
on
good.
my part. I'm not gonna lie. Uh, Overall, everything came out good. We had plenty of time. Uh, Everything got knocked out. Um, you know, I watched every match and I really didn't see any infractions in the rules. Everybody's got the rules
No,
down now, which
yep,
is
I
it's
agree.
gonna kind of be something new coming up.
Yeah, a slight adjustment, but we'll get to that in just a minute. And another thing, though, part of that, and I'd love to hear what you really think. I know we just kind of talked about, it, but so Luna at the very end of the show comes out unexpectedly and and introduces a new division that's going to kick off, and it's called the Rookie Champion. And so the thought behind it is that as people join their very first season, which means when a season is a whole 2K game. So right now we're in 2K18 until next October. So that this is our entire season. So anybody who joins this season is eligible to go after that belt. And the thought is that, when rookies join, they want a title, right? Everybody wants to go after the title. Well, it just doesn't work that way. You have to prove yourself, you have to earn it. So now they'll have a title that they can go after. This is kind of our minor belt that isn't hardcore, because hardcore is very much its own division. It isn't the tag teams, which is very much its own thing. So guys who join very much have their own belt that they can go after. I thought the belt came out really, really good. I love it. I posted it, and man, it got a lot of buzz. People were talking about it. They seen the belt. I think within 20 minutes of posting the belt on some recruitment websites that I use, I got like 12, 13 messages. Like people are like, yeah, I want in. Like, that's a cool belt. I want to go after that. What do you think about the division, the idea, the belt, all of it?
I think it's great. So the belt looks awesome. I love belts. I personally am not one for the whole black strap of a belt and everything. I think it's used
Yeah,
everywhere. I
sure.
don't really like it. But the strap we using for this belt is freaking awesome. Um, the idea and concept of how we can have these rookies come in and be in their own little division and work their way up is awesome. Because there they'll get to fine tune and get used to the rules and everything, and not getting these big matches with these guys that have been playing for 2 or 3 months now that are used to the rules, and they start messing up, and they kind of
Yeah,
do little incidences and stuff like that, and then those other guys will get a little upset because they're still not used to it. But at the same time, that doesn't mean that if they don't show that one, they can follow the rules, two, that they're really good at what they do and they participate, that they can only go for that title. That doesn't mean that.
yeah.
There's always a chance that
No.
we can say, hey, like, look, you've proven yourself already. You
Yep.
don't have to wait the full whole season. We're going to let you jump up and go after other titles now. And
Yep.
that's just something that I think is awesome. So this kind of gives them their own little training seminar ground that they can go to and get everything down packed before they come up and meet us over there, which is awesome. I love that.
Yeah, I think I think it would be a neat idea to at least try. It's something I personally have never heard of. I'm sure somebody has tried it or whatever, but I'm just trying to find ways to make us different than everything that's out there. I'm not looking to copy and paste everything that's out there, and I think that this is one way that we can just be a little bit different. And again, I think you said it perfectly. If anybody's listening to this that's here, or we've got a couple of new guys that are joining, it's it's not all about wins and losses. They do matter. I mean, you can't lose every single match and get a championship opportunity, but at the same time, you can role play that stuff off. Look, I lost to B17, but I've been telling a story for about the last month about Cactus, and so it was an easy. I could write that loss off. Like I had something built in. You can always write things off as a reason. And so right now, Cactus is like drinking this potion, and he's like going underneath this like voodoo curse, and so that's how I'm writing his loss to B17 off. Um, if you are picking up some wins and playing good matches, or even losing, but it's like good, clean, close matches, and then you're role playing your butt off and you're telling really good stories, you're going to get a push. You're going to get an opportunity. And I think that's important, especially as we'll get to the very last section after we cover the next card. But with the new news that we're going to introduce, I think that that's going to take on vital importance, that people just understand it's not always all about wins and losses, that your role plays and the stories you tell and how you play your matches have a lot to do with that. So I think it'll be fun. And that kind of brings us to our next card, which is going to be Chaos number 32. I can't believe this is already our 32nd card that we've dropped, but there's going to be a watering hole segment. I think it's who do I have that's going to be on there? Oh, it's going to be CJ. That's right. So that we'll get to hear about CJ a little bit more. If you don't know what this is, the watering hole segment is an interview that Cactus Gage does, and it's just I think what was Jericho's thing called that he did in the WWE?
The highlight reel.
Highlight reel. Like think that type of thing. I don't know what the Miz calls his, but like it's just like an in-ring interview session, and I just started doing those because I think it's fun. It helps get people's character over. It helps me ask them questions with get them thinking, oh yeah, that's how I could start to tell my story, and it's just an easy way to help introduce people. I'm gonna get text on there here one day too because I just being text one of my favorite guys. So match one is gonna be Cactus versus Aiden Steele. Just kind of some payback that has been building up for a little bit now. So you and I got to get together. We haven't even talked about that. We got to get together and figure out when we're
Yeah,
going to play this. I'm
we
off for a
do.
while, so we got plenty of time to figure this out. This could be Tex versus a new guy, Derek DeMoise, which is the new guy who's in the chat, Nee. If you haven't got to talk to Nee, you should. Just a neat dude. He's a family guy, which instantly, you know, got rapport with me, and just super nice dude. Um, just yeah, we'll get to the second part of him in here in just a second. And then match number three is going to be Jack Thunder versus Craig Jackson. So CJ is going to have a match against Jack Thunder. That should be it's going to be a normal match, so the hardcore champion can take a night off from the hardcore match and just get a regular match in. And then the main event is going to be Captain Alex versus Dustin White. No DQ in this one, so no cage, but no DQ. Who knows if Mr. Aiden Steele is going to come out? But Captain is just looking for a little payback of getting double teamed. I think there's a fun story that's going to be told there. And Dustin White is your new number one contender. So we're building towards what that's going to look like. That's probably going to get sped up here soon. Dustin White might get that opportunity sooner than later with Mr. Cactus. And lots of new stories. So what do you think about this card? I think that it's a pretty good card. There should be some really good matches on here. It should just be fun to watch.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a great card. So, we got Cactus versus Aiden, who's they've gone back since the beginning with each other. I mean, they were a tag team together. They know each other in and out. Cactus went off, did his own thing for a little while, brought Aiden back in, and you know, Aiden's still learning these new rule sets and how to play and everything. But I mean, they're still they're one of the top two guys. You got the champ versus the little brother who has had opportunity after opportunity. You know, and we got match two with Tex versus Dirk. You got the new guy that's just coming in. Ready to show himself versus Tex, who, if you're following his story, you know that he's never wrestled before, and he's learning to do this all from the get go, which is what I'm going with him. That I want him to kind of learn from everybody else and how he does things. Um,
And Dirk has a great look too. I think you guys will like Dirk's look.
yeah,
Yeah, I think you'll like. It's different. It's completely different than what we have. Bright color. I think you'll love his attire. It's just he's got a neat look.
yeah, he does. I've seen some pictures he posted over to me because I've been, like I said, you said talk to me, and I'm gonna double on that. Really, guys, y'all need to talk to this guy. He knows what he's talking about. He knows what he's doing. If y'all need any help, he's the kind of guy that's gonna get in there and help you and walk you through things if you need help when it comes to dialogue and how to write. I've talked to him for the last 4 days now, 5 days. We probably sent about 300 messages to each other in our little group chat, but just amazing guy, really is. Match three, you got Jack Thunder versus CJ. like I said, man, I had a match with CJ last week. He's a great guy. He's going to be there. I think Jack Thunder might have some competition right here. Um, Jack is champ for a reason, though. So it's going to be a great match to see with them two. And then the main event was no DQ, Dustin versus Captain. I've got to say, I'm not a fan of Captain. I do not like him. He is like 12 foot tall, got a reach of, 13 foot, and I don't like that. That's just me. Nothing against, anything, but I just don't like wrestling the guy. And that's why I had to bring in someone who I knew could help me take this club out. And so I'm 100% with Dustin on any match that's a versus Captain. That's just how I look at it.
It should be fun. It'll be a fun match. He and I we were gonna hook up last night, but Tiff and I were babysitting. Tiff's my wife, and I know that you know that, but everybody else that's listening does not. We were babysitting some friends' kids, and so we couldn't play last night. But we'll either hook up tonight or here soon. Uh, I just want to hear more from Dustin White. He's super busy with school, but he's just been around so long. Like he's our buddy, right? He's part of the leadership committee here in the GFW, and I just want to hear more from Dustin White. I want to get more of that character to come out, and I'm interested to see where these new fraction of Guns for Hire goes. I think it should be super interesting. I've kind of made this decision as you and I were talking. So if you guys go and check out the rules, they have been updated. And that'll lead us to our last kind of segment here. We did update the rules a little bit. Um, they're really slight adjustments, and so there's some clarity given to some certain areas. You do not have to worry about changing your guy. So you'll see some new rules around move sets and like just some minor updates. Don't worry about the actual changing of attributes or leave this card alone. Keep your stuff the same it is. But the actual in ring rules, try to play by them if you can. If you play by the old rules, it's totally fine because these are just slight changes. And basically, I think most of them are going to just be around a couple of things. So ring outs, you're only allowed. I think you double check me, but I think you're only allowed three, and so only three ring outs. After three, you'll be DQ'd. So if you ring out after three times, you're DQ'd. So try to keep those at three. Justin's getting yelled at. The other ones are once they're on the ground, you only get one stomp, and then you can keep on. So you can do a ground move, a grapple, a strike. You can pick them up. You can start doing moves after that. You don't have to reset. So there's no more three stomp rule, one strike rule, then stay back, let them get up and reset. You can keep the action moving, but you're only allowed one stomp, and then you got to do something else. The other rules are like you can only do the same move back to back twice, and then you got to mix it up and do other things. Um, yeah, I think it'll be good. I think it's going to be faster pace action, which I know is going to be really good for Aiden still because he's just better at that and slow the slower paces. It's taking him a little bit to learn, and so it'll speed the action up a little bit more. It'll be a little bit of adjustment coming, and that kind of brings me to the other part. We're not announcing this, and really the only people that will know about it is just the people who listen to this podcast. But Dirk runs his own league, and so he got connected with us from the advertisement that I do, and wanted to join us, and he is joining us, and his buddy, I don't even know how to say his name, Shock or something like that, who's another really great guy, is looking to join us, and so there are conversations in place. I don't want to share a ton, but it's looking more and more every hour on the hour that this is going to happen, that we are going to do a merger with his league. His league runs like 20 deep. Um, we have adjusted both of our rule set to create the rule set that you guys see on our website right now in that thread. Um, that is a combination of what they do and what we do all together as one. That's why I asked you guys to change your characters to one signature, one finisher, because here soon we're going to have 20 new characters in the league, and so we need everybody just to pick one signature, one finisher, so that we have enough to go around. And I think it makes those moves more powerful. Like if we each had two finishers, two signatures, that's four moves per character. That's like 120, 200, whatever that number is. That it waters it down. So if we each had one signature, one finisher, it makes it more impactful. You know it when you see it. And we're doing this for a couple of reasons. We have a big following on Twitter, on YouTube. We have a big community here. We have a really great website that I work hard on that integrates everything together. They have the characters, they have the storyline. We have the editing power. With my graphics, they do graphics. With me putting the shows together, with our YouTube following, like all that stuff that we do, we just feel like if we combine efforts, that we can be like the league that we look up to, the OCW. The OCW's been around for 13 years, and honestly, those guys are the best of the best. They do great role plays. They have the best talent. The really great matches. Like they are the upper echelon of everything. We want to get there, and the only way we're going to get there is if we bring in guys who have a lot of talent. Now, this other league, Dirk's league, is going to continue to do their own thing as they get a feel for this merger, and once they feel comfortable, it'll be 100% all of us together. There's a new board being formed, a new booking committee being formed. We're going through. We decided on belts. We're going through kind of nuts and bolts of how things happen, and kind of finalizing that, and then we'll finalize a timeline. I just think that nothing but good can come from this. Right now, there's like five of us, six of us, and it's fun. I love doing it, and we'll keep doing it. But it's even more fun when we have more people. So we'll have two shows going on. We'll have six new belts that'll be introduced and out there. Um, just a lot of really cool new things that are coming that should excite you, and you'll start seeing some new faces around and some new people. There'll be more action in the chat. There'll be a bigger watch party, like all of more role plays, more stories, more people to work with. There's going to be a little give and take, because a lot of these guys from the other league are from Europe and overseas, which all WWE leagues I've learned like that it's a mixture of U.S. and Europe, and so we'll have to work with them on times that you play. But I think that if everybody puts forth the effort, Dirk and his buddy are super good dudes, and they have a lot of good ideas, and we have a lot of good ideas, and we think mixing them together is going to make us one of the better leagues that are out there that people can choose from on the PlayStation platform. You know a lot about it because you're on my board, and you're hand in hand with me. What are your kind of like brief thoughts without sharing too much about what's going to come out here probably in the next week or so?
Well, I'm really for it. Our first league that we did, we ran almost 20 guys,
Mm-hmm.
and then it would drop down, then go back up, and we always had fun with it because we were always talking. Like the
Mm-hmm.
chats we have now, we'll hit these little 10, 15-minute spurts of people talking,
Yeah.
and then it goes silent. But whenever you got people talking where you fall asleep and you wake up and you've got like 200 messages missed,
Yeah.
like people were talking and getting ready to go for the next
Yeah.
card and everything. And it's funner that way. It really is. Um, Bringing in another 20 guys that are already, ready to go, um, set on rules. They know how to make their characters and how to do editing. Um, it's going to be awesome for us because I personally am still learning to edit. I'm not great at it. I can edit matches and that's about it. And I want to learn. And that's how you better yourself on this league is by learning from other people. Um, Having the 5, 6, 7, 8, 12 titles, whatever we're going to do, however we decide on, is going to be great. We're going to have the rookie title, possibly bring back a tag team title would be awesome because we need the guys for that if we're going to do it.
We're
Uh,
definitely gonna bring those back.
okay, then great. Then yeah, that's going to be awesome because I know there are some of our guys that want to do a tag division, but we just don't have the manpower for it. Um, and then possibly a women's division. Hopefully, I know they have one
Mm-hmm.
already. They want to keep it going. So if some of our guys want to make women, more power to them. They can go for that's something else they can go for. Um, like he said about the rules, it's minor adjustments. The dropping down to one finisher each, I think, is great because it not only what to look for in your opponent if you've played them enough times, it's also your character's move. You don't have
Mm-hmm.
to worry about oh man, is he gonna do this or this? Like like hey man, Aiden's finishing move is the electric chair driver. Like you know it.
Hmm.
Like that's his move. He's gonna hit it and he's gonna win on it when he hits it. Um, Cactus has his moves that he's decided on, and so does everybody else. And so moves are gonna be great. Um, I'm glad that we came to an understanding on rules. They gave a little, we gave a little, didn't argue about anything. Like we're just
No.
meshing perfectly with these guys,
Yeah,
and I
it's been
love that.
super smooth.
Yeah, and I mean it's like it's like it almost feels like we are them when they first started. Like they knew what we were
Yeah.
going through, and they know like hey, like they've already got us all this down packed. They know that we're close to it, and yes, it is. We are still learning, and but that's always you're going to learn, and that's a great thing. Um, I can't wait, man. It's more competition. I love competition, so I would love the next card to be Aiden versus Dirk, and I'm not gonna lie about that right now. If we can make that happen, I'd be grateful for that because I want to see how he is. He's the champ of their league.
Yeah.
So if I can take out the champ of the other league, man, I'd be ecstatic. I'd be so happy about that. At the other end, he may kick my butt up and down the ring all day long, and
Yeah.
that's even better for me because that gets my heart pumping, and I love that. Um, so yeah, I mean, I'm excited about this. If you can't tell, it's going to be nothing but upwards from us from here. And we've got some naysayers and whatever, but they just got to watch and learn from us and see what we do. And if we fall on our face, we fall on our face. But that's never stopped me and you before. We've always originally started up another one after what happened. So
Hmm. Yeah, I think lots of good stuff is coming. A couple of things that you've just said, like while you're talking, like I've already made the changes and attributes to all my guys. So there is a new attribute change in there where you now can kick out as many times as you want, but we've asked that you keep that attribute to 75 for non-champions, 78 for champions. So both Cactus and Captain or change or that change is made in them. They both have one signature, one finisher each. So I've already kind of made my changes to my guys. And I would say that props to Dirk. There's been some trust. Like he has been burned before by mergers that just didn't work out well for him. He's only known me for less than a week. We just hit it off, just good friends, just instantly. And I threw this out at him because I know how hard all you guys work, and I'm always trying to make us better. I'm always trying to bring in the next thing that will help make this a more fun place for everybody. And this is it. And so he has trusted us, and it's been smooth and it's been real. I've connected him with other people that have done this. There's a Madden league in our community called NBC Madden Ballers Club, ran by a guy named Pootie T. And Pootie T, best name in the world, is a Christian guy, and he and I, just like Derek, just hit it off. Like immediately became friends, and this new league, the DCW,
yes,
um,
ECW.
Dynasty Championship Wrestling, which I love their name, their logo, and we're still figuring all those nuts and bolts out. But like them, Pootie T's league had like a long following. They played together for 6 years, 5 years. They just didn't have a website. They didn't have a Twitter. They didn't have like a big following, and so that was the trade off. That hey, you bring your guys over here. I'm gonna leave you alone. You do your own thing. We'll give you a website and a forum. Just help us build our community. And it's been great. I think it's been good for them. It's been good for us. Our community is very large now. It's the community as a whole is over 3.5 years old. My Madden League's over 18 years old, and so like lots of good things are happening. But props to Derek or Dirk for just trusting me and trusting who we are and trusting them. It's been perfectly smooth. The other thing that you said that I just want to brag on you and on like Jack Thunder is that you guys have now earned, and that like there is a real life thing to all of this that we do. Like you both have learned a new skill that you didn't have because of a video game. Like, and you need to give yourself more credit for that. You may not be what you think you want to be just yet when it comes to editing stuff, but you do good stuff, man. Your stuff looks great, and you learn that. Like you on your own use the videos that I made to teach, and you just learned it. And like, even if this thing all goes away tomorrow, you have a brand new skill that you didn't have before because of a video game. And yes, we love the hobby, and this is our hobby, and we love connecting and all that stuff. But I also love it because I love video editing and graphic creating and being creative and telling stories like that. It helps me work on my writing. Like that's why I like the WWE game, is because I get to work on these real life skills that help me in the real world. And you are learning a real life skill that will help you in the real world. And so, yeah, I think I'm just giving you props because I love your stuff. I love what Jack Thunder's doing. I think lots of good things are coming, and I'm working hard for you guys. Like, I'm advertising all the time on Twitter. I'm advertising all the time on PlayStation Network. I'm in like 10 WWE groups. And look, if you go to our YouTube webpage, like, it may not be like, a real professional, like, top grade guy that went to college for graphics and stuff, because that's not who I am. I'm self-taught, but it's professional looking. Like, I've invested hours into the graphics, into the look, into the feel. Like, it's top notch. Our website is top notch, and I'm proud of all of it. And so I do all that so that it can draw more eyes and more people that want to come and join. So that's it. That's a look with all due respect. I didn't even use our little catchphrase with all due respect. We didn't need it this show. But any closing thoughts as we kind of put a bow on this? I know you got to go to work soon, and Tiff's up cooking, so it's time to go back to real life, I guess.
No, I mean I'm excited about everything. Like you said, we got this merger going on. We had our the pay per view was amazing. Our matches are getting there where we want them at. The guys are learning everything. Yeah, I'm just excited about all this. Everything's going great with us. Everything's going smoothly. Um, where we go with the rest of this, we shall see. And I'm excited if we do keep going in the right area.
Yep, I agree. It'll be fun. So that's it for all. With all due respect, we covered your Act One pay per view and the next card for number 32. I think you guys have like 8 days left on that. I know it's Christmas time, so if we need to give a little extension, we will. Just communicate with me. But let's get those matches in. Tell stories. You're coming off of a pay per view. Tell the story of what happened after that pay per view with your character. What are they thinking as they move into the next card? What are they trying to rebound from? What are they trying to keep going? Keep telling those stories. I'm excited to keep telling the story of Cactus, but with the merger, I may have to retell the story. So I may have to do like a little broken Matt situation. I may have to like play normal for a little bit and then re-break him again. I don't know. We'll have to see what's going to happen. But for Ebarb, for me, thank you guys for listening to us ramble. That's it for all due respect. We'll see you on the flip side. Peace out, fellas.
See y'all later, guys.